Welcome back aboard the Holly Jolly Polite Ship, everyone. Also, recently I was feeling a little bit sick, so just try to ignore my hoarse voice. One of my favorite things to do around Christmas time is go to the store and get the new Hallmark snowman. And with 21 different Hallmark Christmas snowmen, some are better than others. So I thought in today's video, we could take a look at each of the different Hallmark snowmen and rank them in a giant tier list. And here is said tier list. So I guess we're ready to begin. Starting with 2003. This one's pretty basic, but it was made in 2003, which was years ago. It was at some point. The song is simple. It's just "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." And the movement is pretty much the same thing that literally every one of the other snowmen does. It's this bob sway thing. Now, I was originally going to put it in C tier because it isn't that interesting, but then I remembered that it is the first ever one, so it's pretty significant. So that bumps it up to B tier. Next is 2004, which is actually one of my favorites. And we will talk about the dog in a second, but first I want to talk about this guy. Just like last year, he does the bob sway thing. And the dog is really interesting because of he moves the antlers and well, they're not really antlers, I guess they're ears, but they're made out of sticks, so they look like antlers. But he moves them back and forth, and he wags his tail with his tooth. And they don't only do that, but they both shake with the Jingle Bells. Even though Jingle Bells is a simple song, I think this one's really advanced for the fact that it was made in 2004. Even though it's kind of simple compared to some of the other ones, this is still one of my favorites and always has been, so it's going in S tier. Next is 2005, which in many ways was a huge advancement for these guys. Not only was this the first one that ever lit up, but there's a lot of light on this too. Even compared to some of the earlier ones. Like the latest one with the string of lights that looks like this has 3 light bulbs on this. There's a bunch of wires and it only has 3 light bulbs on it. But this guy, there's a ton of light bulbs all over. And that lights up too, which is a bonus. Not to mention, this is a brand new type of system that they built for this motor. Another very cool thing about this guy, especially for the year, this whole thing is pretty advanced for the year, but... So not only does he move on the piano, he also takes a bow at the end. The lights on the piano are a huge advancement, especially since it's the first one with lights, and that's why this one is also going in S tier. Next is 2006, and 2006 is another huge technical advancement. First of all, we get introduced to the penguins and the tree, which is the first time we get a Christmas tree in it, so that's pretty cool. So we get 3 individual characters, each with their own individual movements. And of course, the Christmas tree. I think this one needs new batteries. For that reason, this one's going in A tier. Next is 2007. And I think this one is kind of a step back. We got 2005 and 2006. Both of them lit up. Both of them were really cool. And while I do love the dog, I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of this one. So this one's going to go in B tier with 2003. Next we have 2008. Next we have 2008, which is another one that I'm not the biggest fan of. The coolest thing about this one is I'm gonna eat some candy canes. That guy. So, realistically, it's kind of just the same way with 2007. It's almost like a step back. So, This one is also going in B tier. Next is 2010, and if you've seen any of my videos before, you know where this one's going. Not only is the Christmas tree back, but he also, the movement is brand new. You haven't seen it before at this point. And possibly my favorite part about this thing anticlimactic, right? Well, the star's supposed to light up, but mine doesn't work. Kind of like every other version of this one that I've bought. But if you ignore the fact that this is the most expensive one and that it breaks very, very easily, it's actually really, really cool. Like the whole idea, the ladder, the fact that the snowman is taller than the tree. And that is why this one is going in S tier. Next is 2011. And I really like this one. Not just because it was the year that Rex was introduced, but mostly. I also just think it's really cute. Oh, and also, we get an orange light. Is it an S tier? Definitely not. But it's good enough to go in A tier. Next up, we have another one of my favorites, 2012. And you'll see why in a second. This is not only the first time this movement has been used, but it will be the only time that this movement is used. I also just love how clever they were with the lights here, the way that it's just made out of string. I just wish that they had kept that design when they went to do 2021, because that actually looks pretty good, but I'm not gonna lie, kind of like this one better. And so 2012 is going in S tier, which is currently our most full tier. Next up is 2013, and again, the scale makes no sense here. Why is he taller than the lamppost and the bird combined? Also, you see those bite marks? Those are Chloe's. But all that aside, I actually kind of like this one. Not to mention that we also got the orange light back, and the lamppost, and the bird. And for those reasons, this one is going in A tier. Along with 2014, because while it was the first time that this kid was introduced, who I absolutely hate, I just think it's good enough to go in A tier. 2015, on the other hand, is below C tier. The only thing that I like about this is the mom being introduced and Rex trying to get the cookies. Otherwise, he's back and I hate him. And also, there's not really any lights, and it's just kind of, there's no new movement, it's just this. It's not bad enough for E or F tier, but it's D tier. 2016, while it was the first blue light, I'm pretty sure the only blue light, and it also is the most unique of them all, because it's the only one without a snow base. It's just not that cool. It's not bad enough for D, E, or F tier, but it's definitely not good enough for A, S, or B tier, so C tier. Now 2017, on the other hand, is not only one of my favorites, but it's also my mom's favorite. I love the candy canes, I love the idea of hanging the stockings, and I love Rex, so this one is going in S tier. And 2018 is going in B tier. Because while I do like it, I like the idea of it, not only is he back, but you have way more room on this strand of lights. 2019 is definitely not one of my favorites. First of all, we have him. And second of all, why is Rex being squished into his leg? Oh yeah, and one of my least favorite things about this guy.
Oh, could you find me, fellas?
No, you didn't. You're still moving. See, in the past, they've made it so that whoever's talking at the time is the only one moving.
I'm gonna eat some candy canes. I'm gonna eat some chocolate chips.
And lots and lots and lots and lots.
But in this case, they're on the same system. So they're gonna both have to move at the same time. You can't just do it again, especially because of the fact that he's supposed to be asleep. And that's pretty much the case with all of these newer ones that have more than one snowman moving at the same time. And in some cases, like 2016 and 2014, the baby snowman doesn't even have a moving mechanism inside of him because he's attached in some way to the dad, and the dad basically just kind of pushes him along. He's not good enough for D tier, not bad enough for F tier, he's E tier. 2020, on the other hand, is amazing. It's COVID, you're low on supplies, low on time, low on the ability to get out of the house, and most importantly, low on money. But somehow, they managed to pull this one off. And it's pretty good.
Sweaters on.
Now everybody, read.
Let's take a family photo. We can share.
That is one of my favorite things about it.
Lean in close.
The camera flash.
Furry family too.
And you can even see that their picture is on the camera. I am convinced, however, that this dog is not Rex. Now, while he follows Rex's color scheme, Rex was originally, in this first version, brown and white. And every other version after that has been just brown. Except for this one, which is white and brown again. However, it's different than the first one. See, his entire body, with the exception of this little area on his face, is fully brown. Not only that, but every other snowman with Rex in it says his name at some point, except for this one. They never say his name at all. Not only that, but Rex usually appears every other year. So, one year he'll be there, then the next year he won't, then the next year after that he will, and keep going. But this time, he was there 2 years in a row. And then after that, he just vanished until 2024. But this guy is still going in S tier. We'll just put him up here. Next is 2022. There's a lot about this I love, but a lot about it that I hate. First of all, is why did you change the style? He's supposed to look like he's tangled in lights. But it really just looks like he's holding them in his hands. Not only that, but the last time someone was tangled in lights was 2012, and they used this design, which looks a lot better than just poking the actual wires out of the body and just covering them. And also, why do the bulbs look like that? And why did you get rid of the plastic star? This was a perfect opportunity to pull another 2010 and have it light up at the end. But instead, we're going to change things up and make it a stuffed star so that we can put the year on it. But overall, the rest about it I do like. If it will turn on.
Oh,
There we go.
Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, a festive celebration.
You are so annoying. But overall, if I ignore the fact that this kid's in it, we'll put it in A tier. And now we're down to the final three, starting with 2022, which they basically took the idea of 2015 and made it so much better. That being said, I do have a couple issues with this one. First of all, because they both move at different angles at different times, like this. There's a time when it could end and... Okay, well, that was a failure. End and get stuck like this, and then, like, in real life, the icing would just, like, fall on the floor. And so then you have to, like, press play again and wait until it's in the right position, and then, like, make sure the icing looks right, and then that's annoying. The other thing I don't like about this one is that the only thing this kid is wearing is a chef's hat. Every other year, this guy had like some sort of clothing on, like just a scarf and some buttons. Just, maybe even not the buttons, just a scarf would be fine. But in reality, what they just did with this one is take 2015 and make it a lot better. And so, that is why 2022 is going in B tier. I would put it in A tier, but not only does it have no lights, we just can't fit anything else in A tier. 2023, on the other hand, took the idea of 2005 and kind of downgraded it. Now, what I do like about this one is the idea of the light up ice piano.
Join in. I'm sure you snow this one.
That's something that we've never seen before and is really cool. However, where did the physical holly go? You just printed one on the hat. That is like the main thing that I hate about this guy. Look, 2005, 3D holly branch. But 2023 has a 2D holly branch that was just printed on the hat. Not only that, but why did he lose the suit? Also, because of the fact that when it's not lit up, the piano is just white. And the fact that there's just, in general, less color. This thing is just blinding white. But the one thing that I absolutely despise about this guy is the fact that rather than just playing all 3 songs simultaneously, each time you want him to play a new song, you have to click the button again, and then wait for him to talk. That isn't the only bad part about the phrases, though, because there's 5 phrases, but there's 3 songs. So if you want to hear all the phrases, you have to press the button 2 extra times. So just make 5 songs to go along with it. I don't hate this guy enough to put him below D tier, so he's going in C tier. That leaves 2024. I love this guy. Not only that, but this is the first time Rex actually moves. Not only that, but we haven't even really seen him since 2019. If my theory is true, that is. If not, we saw him 2020, but that was the last time we saw him. Now he's back, and he moves for the first time.
Boxes, paper, tape, and bows. Gather up supplies. Wrapped up neat in red and green. A thoughtful, fun surprise.
The only criticism that I have for this guy is that there isn't any lighting. But that would make him the first non-lit up snowman to kind of go in the S tier. He's gonna have to go there. And with that, here's a recap. In S tier, we have 2004, 2005, 2010, 2012, 2017, 2020, and 2024. In A tier, we have 2006, 2011, 2013, 2014, and 2021. In B tier, we have 2003, 2007, 2008, 2018, and 2022. In C tier, we have 2016 and 2023. In D tier, we have 2015. In E tier, we have 2019, and there's nothing in F tier. So, to fill up the S tier, here is the 2009 snowman. Exactly, there was none. Just kidding, instead we're going to put L here because no one likes him. And so, thanks for watching, everyone. Be merry, not seasick. Bye.